Hello everyone! In this episode we'll be making a classic Cantonese dish, stir-fried clams in black bean sauce, known in Mandarin as 豉汁炒现, or in Cantonese as 豉汁炒现. We'll start by preparing 1 bowl of water, that's 1 liter of water, and we'll add in 35 grams of salt. Now, I'm making this salty water to keep our live clams in while we prepare the other ingredients. Some will do this step in order to purge the clams, but if you buy your clams from the grocery store, there's a good chance they've already been purged for you. So this step is not actually necessary to purge sand from the clams, but it is helpful if you want to keep them alive for a longer time. Here I've got 1 kilogram of fresh clams that I bought from the market. We'll just put these into the salty water that we just prepared, divide them evenly into both bowls. When we cook the clams, we need them to be alive, so just give them a tap on the shell and make sure that they close up, because if they are gaping open and don't move, they're dead, and you should discard them. We'll chop some spring onion greens, which we'll just use for garnish, so we'll just keep this for later. Here we've got 20 grams of garlic, which we're going to mince up. Garlic is a supplementary flavor to what we're making today. The main thing we want to taste is the black beans, but garlic can make it more fragrant and give it an additional boost of flavor. We'll dice up a small red onion. We don't need to dice it too finely, just into small little granules, just like so. Now, if you like it a little bit spicy, this is optional. You can add some bird's eye chilies. Because this is a classic Cantonese dish, which is traditionally not very spicy, I've opted to use just 2. So we're going to cut these in half, and then we're going to mince them up. We'll put that together with the garlic. And now for the main ingredient, which is the black beans. These fermented black beans have a very funky umami flavor. We're going to need about a tablespoon of them, and then we'll chop them up. When we chop them up, it releases the flavors more. Put the chopped black beans together with the garlic and chili, and that's all we need. We'll just now prepare our wok with some water. Once it's boiling, we'll drain our clams that have been sitting in that salt water to keep them alive. And then we'll give them a quick rinse under the tap. Make sure you're quick about this. And then quickly add in the clams into the boiling water and cover the wok. Let them steam for about 3 minutes, and they should all open up. If any clams did not open at this stage, you might want to force them open and just take a quick whiff. If they smell fishy, throw them out because they have been dead for some time. We'll prepare a bowl and just pour all the clams out. We'll pour out the water from the wok and let it dry. In the meantime, we'll start deshelling those clams. Now for better presentation, we're going to remove the half of the shell that doesn't have the meat in it. So we'll discard that half of the shell and keep only the half that has the clam meat itself in it. Because nobody really wants to see half the plate full of empty shells. Once we're done with that, here's what it looks like. So you do need to buy a decent amount of clams to make a dish for 2 people. We'll add in some lard to the wok. That's about 2 tablespoons. Now if you don't like lard, you can use vegetable oil, but I think lard absorbs the flavors of the spices better. We'll add in our onion granules and stir fry them a little bit. And then we'll add in the rest of the things, which is garlic, chilies, and black beans. The onion is just to add color and a little bit of texture. We'll now add in some oyster sauce. That's about 1 tablespoon. The oyster sauce will give the overall flavor to the sauce. We'll add a little bit of water. And then we'll add in our clams. You can see that each clam has a very small nugget of meat, so you want a decent number of clams for one person. We'll add a little more water, just so that there's enough liquid. Because this is a saucy dish, we want a decent amount of sauce. We'll add some cornstarch slurry to thicken it. We'll need to add in a couple batches. So this is overall a very simple dish that anybody can make at home. But the ingredients you choose are up to you. The most important thing is to make sure not to overcook those clams during the steaming stage. We'll finish with a few of those chopped spring onions and we'll top them with more later to garnish. A little more cornstarch slurry just to make the sauce thick enough to coat the clams, so that later, when we eat the clams, we can just dip the shell into the sauce and then enjoy it with rice. The sauce should be a nice consistency to put on top of rice as well. And that's pretty much it. That's stir-fried clams and black bean sauce. Hope you enjoyed this recipe.